I'm ready to glue the bridge onto my current guitar. As you can see, I've already finished the top. It's polished to a high gloss, all except for the area where the bridge will be glued down. I've drilled the bridge pinholes in the bridge itself, but not in the top. But I've gone down just a little way, and I've got a couple of locating pins, which may not be necessary with the tape I've got around the outside. But the thing is, this is the first time I'm going to use my DIY, my homemade bridge vacuum clamp, and I wasn't sure how much the bridge might move, so just took a belt and braces approach. It probably isn't necessary, but anyway, I've done a couple of practice runs and it seems to work okay, so here goes. I'm using hide glue, of course. It's my standard glue for anything acoustically important on my instruments. And this is actually a stronger gram strength than what I normally use. This is, I think, 320, whereas my standard one is whatever it normally is, 2 something. Anyway, this stuff should not ever come off. That can be taken off if you need to, which is one of the virtues of hide glue. I'm just pushing the locating pins into place. That's looking fine, and I've got it down now, so the time pressure's off. Try and place this roughly. This is looking quite good, as you can see. I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes perhaps, then take off the clamp, peel back the tape to get rid of excess glue, any cleanup around the bridge, it should be minimal, but I'll do that, and then put the clamp back on for half an hour perhaps, and I think that should be enough. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes now, so let's see what we've got. That's looking quite clean. So I'll peel up this tape to get rid of any excess glue. There's a tiny bit on the top there, but that's another advantage of hide glue. It'll clean up with water even once it's dry. So I'm not worried about that at all. And there's not really any other cleanup to speak of. I'll just give it a very quick go with a damp toothbrush. If I'd have thought this through better, I would have found a way of taking out these locating pins before the glue is set. I mean, they're made of wood, so I can drill through them easily enough afterwards, but it would be easier really if I could get them out now. So that's something to think about for the future. Maybe a small 2mm. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of glue coming up here, so it was worth doing this preliminary cleanup, I think. I find this quite useful for getting into corners. It's just a lollipop stick sharpened to a point and beveled, so it's really quite a sharp point, and if you are careful and kind of have a paper towel on the end, then it won't mark the top of anything. Okay, I'm fussing. I'm going to leave it until it's dry now. Put the clamp back on, and leave it for an hour or so, and then we're done. Here's the final result, which I'm very happy with. There's a very nice clean glue line, no gaps, and obviously on this guitar I didn't have a choice about the clamping method, or at least not with the equipment I've got. I had to use the vacuum clamp because there's no sound hole, so I can't get normal clamps in there. But it's worked so well that I'll certainly consider using it even when I'm making a normal sound hole guitar where I can clamp it. It's great, really happy with it. One detail I should mention, which might help anybody who's thinking of using a vacuum clamp with hide glue, an hour under the clamp wasn't enough. After I took the clamp off, after an hour, I left the bridge, to kind of finish drying, and it was still wet enough where the glue was for the wings to start to peel up a little bit. So I basically slid some more hot glue in there, reclamped it, and left it for I think 3 or 4 hours, and then took it off, and everything was fine. So just something to remember.